Andrew Tate put this out. You're not horny, you'll realize women are
today.
selfish, boring, rude, arrogant, expensive, disloyal, and mean. Literally just stop being horny for 5 seconds and you'll end up a misogynist. What do you think of that one?
I have to go first on this?
Yeah. He's accurate there. I think he's right.
I don't. Where's the lie?
Boring, rude, arrogant, expensive, disloyal, and mean.
Now, here's the thing.
Not all of them.
Here's the thing, though. The caveat to this statement should be, and that's okay. If you understand, because why it's such a problem to say these things, because this is everything he says is the reality of what they are. Now, I mean, you can use, obviously, we know what Andrew's doing. He's trying to get engagement. He's trying to rate. That's what he does. We get that. But obviously, there's some merit in what he's saying. But if you even found a way to replace mean with something else or self-serving, you can always come back and say, but there's a reason, it's okay, and there's a reason for this. And it all comes back down to survival and hypergamy. But because modern Disney, rom-com, social media, modern society has built women up to be these all-loving, all-knowing, all-nurturing creatures, anything that slightly deviates from that, even though it's biologically backed up and we know that it's true, it just gets it's confused as hate. You're not allowed to do that. So, but he's right. I mean, there's that we call it PNC.
That's the vast majority of Western women right there in a nutshell. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And it's okay. Don't be mad about it. The guys will read that and be mad and hate women. It's like, well, don't be mad. Use it to your advantage. If you know all of that, then how do you combat that? Well, here's how. Guess what? We got an entire school with 2 dozen, 3 dozen, 4 dozen hours of material that'll show you how.
Well, I asked people for their advice in this situation. She found out he's cheating. We were talking about this earlier today, Moff. Honestly, I'm so shocked. It was such a curveball for me. We live together in a high-rise condo. He pays for everything. He takes me out on regular date nights, on the weekends. We have a great relationship and communication. We have his parents over, and we go over to his parents once a week. He's in the process of helping my dad retire and investing at his private wealth firm and paying off some of the debt to get him on track for retirement. My family loves him, and I do. My family loves him, and I do too. This was such a great relationship. The thought of breaking up with him is devastating. I found him texting another girl and flirting with her, debating whether I should just break it off and move out silently or confront him and work it out or don't even mention it. I've been in this position prior where I forgave him and he did it again, and I have a strong belief that once a man knows you stay, that he loses respect for you. Ladies, any advice? Well, I mean, I put that on the table to see what people following me on social would say. And, if she's smart, she stays. He knows where, you'll stay. He respects you the most. The main bish material right there. If you're getting good treatment, stay. He's loyal through his actions. She should definitely make her life and the lives of her parents permanently worse just based on principle.
Sarcasm, obviously.
Yeah. Competition anxiety is a beautiful thing. She's not going anywhere. Well, it's pretty consistent, right? Stay with him and give him more head. Become a God-fearing woman and then find a God-fearing man.
Oh my God, shut up.
Blah. But this is where it got interesting. Somebody went and they dug up the original post and said it's a strange post for her to make. She deleted her account because people saw that she's a sugar baby on her post history. The fact that your sugar baby turned girlfriend tells me that he doesn't have any respect for you to begin with. The fact that you've been in this position before tells you all that you need to know. Now, blah, blah, blah. But if you go back over here, helping my dad retire and investing at his private wealth firm, she doesn't work. She is definitely a sugar baby to this guy, which means that she's a hoe. And even though she's a hoe, and he's taking care of her and dating her and looking after her and, looking after her parents and helping her father retire, she's still thinking that she can do better somewhere else, which I think is hilarious. What's your take on all that?
I mean, the comments kind of already spoke for it. What's interesting is the comments on Reddit are vastly different. Everybody's saying you need to leave, blah, blah, blah.
The first ones, when it was posted, were all you go girl, leave. He's a piece of crap. You can do better. But then when they dug up her post history and they saw that she was talking about being a sugar baby before, they're like, aha, gotcha, bitch.
Yeah. Also, what is this weird obsession that women have about needing to be respected, like by their man? I've never heard a man ever say, my woman needs to be a woman that I can respect. That's not even something that crosses our mind when we think about this stuff. Like, oh, he'll lose respect for me. Like, no, like, it was funny because speaking of Tate, I remember when he first went on Your Mom's House with Tom and Christina way back, right before he blew up.
Mhm.
And she asked the same thing. She's like, oh, well, if I let Tommy do this, I do Tommy do that. You know, if I'm just this, he pays for everything and he takes care of me, won't he lose respect for me? He's like, no, he wants to take care of you. He wants to be the leader. He wants to be supportive of you. That's what he cares about. There's not competing with your man so he'll respect you is dumb. Um, yeah, that guy summed it up in his comment. He's like, yeah, she should definitely uproot her entire life and the lives of her parents because of something like this. And I said this earlier in the chat. This woman did not come to Reddit looking for actionable advice. She came looking for validation from the internet that she's validated in her feelings. If she was really looking for actionable advice and was actually considering breaking up with this guy, she would have gone to her friends, she would have gone to her parents, but she didn't, because once you embarrass yourself and this stuff gets out and it's public, then you have to break up with them. That's why she's an anonymous stranger on the internet. She doesn't actually want advice. She just wants to be told that her feelings are correct and right, and you go, girl. So yeah, if you're dumb, you'll dump him. If you're smart, you'll do what you should do, and you should look the other way begrudgingly, if you can. But it's really hard to tell women that they need to go against their biological impulses and solipsism.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember there was a little soundbite in Taraban's book. He said something along the lines with most women would rather have a Porsche like 98% of the time than drive a Kia 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And as long as, like, he's still showing up, right? He's paying for everything. He's taking her out on dates. He's a nice guy to her. He takes care of her family, blah, blah, blah. Even though she's basically a prostitute, like, you met her on a sugar baby site, which is the dumbest move you can make as a guy. Red flag number 14 on my list, by the way, is stay away from sugar babies. And, you know, this guy invited this gal into his life and moved her into his house and started taking care of her family. And she's not happy about it, that he's talking to another girl. It's like, I mean, what do you want? He's still taking care of you, right? I mean, whatever. Is what it is. You know, everybody's got their take on this. It's right, it's wrong, it's whatever. She's right, she's wrong. At the end of the day, I always find these Reddit asks very comical, and the feedback and the commentary that sort of goes through it very comical as well. It's an interesting place to study and observe human nature in difficult scenarios, compromising scenarios, hurtful scenarios, painful scenarios. Which is why I share this stuff on social media, and I sort of use it as an example to, dive down rabbit holes and have talking points. So I think it's fun that way. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.